What is up? I'm hoping you are having an amazing day today on this lovely Monday. Today's training is going to be sweet. You're in the right place. If you're somebody who has some New Year's resolutions that wants to crush it this year, but is kind of in the not so sure how to pull it off stage. If you're already well on your way, then hey, this is going to be helpful so that there's no trips and bumps along the way. If you haven't started yet, that's fine. You're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be because this is going to get you leaps and bounds ahead of where you are just going to try to maybe figure it out on your own. Okay. And you want to make sure you get to the very, very end because I got something ultra special for you that you're not going to want to miss out on. I pinky promise. Especially if you're somebody who's got a busy life and has got a body that wants to make a new project and get your body nice and fit. Okay, so with all that being said, let's dive into it. First, we're going to cover 4 things that you're going to need to figure out for you. You need to figure out, 1, where am I right now? Second, you need to figure out is, where do I want to go? Third one is, what am I going to do? And fourth one is, how am I going to do it? Okay, so you got to go through each of these 4 things. And I'm going to tell you, the first one's the hardest. The first one's the hardest because you're probably in a place right now, if you're not in a program, if you're not in my program for a little bit, okay, if you're just starting out, you're probably in a place right now where you're like 10 out of 10 pain, right? Or 9 out of 10 pain. You're in a place where you haven't weighed yourself in a while, but your clothes are fitting tighter. Or maybe you just had your annual physical recently and you're like, doctor's telling me bad news. Doctor's telling me that my blood sugar's a little high, or my blood sugar's definitely high, or that I'm going to need to be on some cholesterol medication, or my weight's at a weight that I said I'd never be at, or my weight's at a place where this is beyond pregnancy weight. You might be in that sort of position. And that's okay. But it's best to know where we are because we don't know how to go or where to go if we don't know where we are right now. Okay, you'll see why in just a second, but I understand how it can be challenging and tough. Okay, that knowing where you are now kind of faces a harsh reality of this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. I'm at blank spot. And that can really suck. That can really make somebody feel very down on themselves. It can make them feel very inadequate and shameful and fearful and all these things. But I'm here to tell you that what's worse than knowing where you are is believing you might be somewhere that you're not. And what do I mean by that is when you don't know where you are, you're opening the door to anxiety and stress. Because you have these thoughts in your mind, you think about it all the time. That's why you're here. Is that you want to lose weight, you want to be up, you want to see the number on the scale, you want to see the pants, you want to. Maybe you're a dude watching this and you're like, I'd like to wear one of the shirts like that, to where I feel good, to where I can fit inside it, that I can grab my waist and not grab my waist, or not grab my waist. I want to be able to fold my arms and feel good and my muscles show. Or maybe a lady like, I'd like to wear a tank top. Like if I could just wear a tank top, it'd feel nice without my arms bulging. But if you don't know where you are, you don't know where to go, right? It's like saying, I'm going to go to Disneyland, but where are you at right now? I don't know, Midwest somewhere. It's really tough, okay? So we need to know where you are right now, okay? And for when I started, this is years ago now, I was big. For those of you who don't know me, I was a big dude. I was 20 pounds heavier than I am right now. And I'm kind of heavy right now relative for me, right? So I was a big dude. I was wearing 36 size pants. I was wearing a XL t-shirt in that. And that fake smile was a fake smile because I hated every moment of the way I looked and felt. I was fit dude. I was a fairly strong guy, but I was just not in good shape. I couldn't do things I wanted to. And despite being fairly strong, it just wasn't helpful. It wasn't helping me, and it sucked. And it was doubly, triply hard because I knew I was headed on a path to where my dad was. My dad died when he was 37 of a heart attack. So I knew I was headed that direction. But not only did I know I was headed that direction, but I also was an example to the people at my gym. I owned a gym in that picture, a weight loss gym in that picture. Problem. And then when I got my act together and started following the process that I'm about to teach you today, I actually look like a trainer now. That was in my gym. You can see a little bit in the background, the kettlebells, giant rack of kettlebells back there in the dirty mirror. But I was fit, right? I was a fit dude. And so that was 2020-ish. And I maintained that weight for a couple years, maybe two years or so. And then I decided I wanted to start getting a little bit bigger. And you might be like, Chris, you're not very big. And that's true. I'm not very big to most people, but for where I'm at in the sport that I want to be, I feel fairly good. I think I can get a little bit bigger, but I feel good for where I'm at right now. I put on about 12-ish, 13 pounds of muscle. So the weight that I would get down before, I don't think I can get there. And if I did, I would look drastically different. I mean, it's hard to tell, but if you look at just my forearms in general, my shoulders, I'm a lot wider now. My legs, it's hard to tell, but my legs are significantly bigger, inches bigger than what I was then, which is pretty awesome. Hey, all things are awesome there. And so for me to figure out to get to where I am, that's where I am right now. That picture, okay? And so then it goes like, okay, where am I going now? What am I trying to do? But if I don't know where I'm at, I don't know where I need to go, okay? And so I'm at the weight that I took. This is a week ago or so. I was 171 pounds, 18% body fat, which means I had 30.8 pounds of fat on me. I had 140 pounds of lean mass, meaning everything else was that, okay? And so first things first is you got to know where you're at, and not only just your weight, but your body fat percentage. If you don't know how to figure that out, there's a Navy calculator. You can look it up. You need inches around your neck, waist, hips, and your weight, height, and age. And I believe gender too, okay? So you got to put those things in there. And when you do that, it's going to spit out your number. And this gets you in the ballpark. If you got a fancy schmancy machine like I do, you can get a little bit tighter. If you did an in-body, if you did a body fat handheld, at least gets you closer in the ballpark of where you are. The Navy calculator, a little bit bigger, but at least gets us close, okay? So from there, I got to figure out, okay, what body fat percentage do I want to be at? Do I want to be as lean as I was in the other picture, or do I want to be even leaner than that? And so it gives me kind of a range. And so for me, the lowest, or not for me, for humans, okay, for males, ideally around, you shouldn't go to 3% body fat. So I have the high end is 5. That put me at 142 pounds. And then I put 15%, which is not quite that other picture, a little bit less than that. So a little bit higher body fat percentage than that other picture. So it puts me in a range of 156 to 142, somewhere in there, okay? And so me going, okay, here's what I kind of have in my plate, which we're going to dive into in a second. Here's what I got on my plate. Here's where I want to get to in this upcoming quarter, in the next 3 months. I want to get to, where do I want to go? 151 pounds. That's 15 pounds of fat off. And you might be like, Chris, your math ain't mathin', pal. You're 171, 151 pounds. That's 20 pounds down. Yes. But look at this other number here. Lean mass after inflammation. Now, have you ever seen you'll see other examples of this in just a bit, okay? I've 5 pounds. I assumed I got 5 pounds of water and inflammation on me. That number is kind of just pulled out of my butt, quite honestly. Some people it's more, some people it's less. I picked 5 because it seems to be that's how much I felt, right? There is no rhyme or reason to pick a number. If you're somebody that's around 200 pounds, you can easily go 8 pounds. If you're somebody who's 150 pounds, you can go 5-ish. It just gets us close, right? It's not an exact science, right? Because I don't have a way for me to measure intercellular and subcutaneous water, okay? And so when those are outside of normal ranges, then I can tell, but anyway, I'm not going to bore you with the numbers, okay? So I pick 151. That puts me at 10-ish% body fat, maybe 11. My math serves me. About 11, okay? But I'm not sure what that looks like, and that's okay. Because I know where I'm going. I know I need to lose 15 pounds of fat, okay? So now that I know where I'm at, know where I need to go, then I can go into the what. What am I going to do? Now, in order to figure this out, you got to also know kind of what your schedule looks like. Okay. For me, I'm a Christian dude. I go to church on Sunday, so I can't be spending tons of time on Sunday doing stuff. I also got a family, so we like to do family stuff on the weekends. So again, can't really do a bunch of time. My daughters are also heavily involved in dance. I run this business. I've got a wife I like to hang out with. She runs a business. I like enjoying spending time with my kids, so much so that I'll even do these little dance things. I'm playing it. But there's your boy right here, smack dab in the middle. Let's see if it zooms in on me. It does. Boom, 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 boom. And I didn't miss a single thing. How do I not miss a single thing? Because I went to every single practice. So I'm involved in those things. And so it's incredibly important for me to do that. And so I got to know what I'm up against, right? And so knowing that there are 4 weight loss outputs that I have, I need to manipulate them in such a way that yields me the results that I'm looking for. Okay? And so the 4 are basal metabolic rate, NEAT, thermic effective food, fitness. Briefly, basal metabolic rate is what you burn at rest, meaning you just laid in bed all day, you burn a certain amount of calories, okay? That is dictated by age, height, weight, and gender. Those things get you moving in the right direction, okay? And again, ballpark number. NEAT stands for non-exercise active thermogenesis, okay? That's you walking around and doing stuff. TEOF stands for thermic effect of food. Basically, what you eat, how you digest it, and what the foods you eat, those certain foods, depending on the macronutrients there are, proteins, fats, or carbohydrates, those, some of them are harder to break down than others. And so I got to eat a certain number. The food I eat gets broken down and it burns calories, okay? We'll dive into the little bit how in a minute. And then fitness, this is exercise, okay? So for me, 1,800 calories is what I burn every day, chilling like a villain. I hit 10,000 steps on accident every day, which yields me 500 calories. Roughly 7% of the food that I consume is burned in the digestion process, and that's 100 calories. And then fitness, I'm set to burn roughly 180 calories per workout. So at least on the minimum. Now I can always do more, but on the minimum it's roughly that. So check this out. I burn 2,580 calories per day. I'm eating 1,400 calories per day, which means I am in a calorie deficit because I burn more than I eat. Therefore, my calories are in the negative, which means I'm in a deficit. Calorie deficit isn't a word, right? It's not like a proper noun. It's not like Eiffel Tower or like MacBook or like, I don't know, iPhone 14, right? It is your calories are either you're eating either more than what you burn or you're eating less than what you burn, or the middle, I guess, okay? But because I'm eating less than what I burn, those 1,180 calories have to come from somewhere. It's not going to come out my butt and go like, oh, look it's just magically showing up. No, they come from fat. How cool is that? Okay. And so I know there's roughly 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. If I have 15 pounds of fat to lose, that is 52,500 calories, or roughly 3 of those bad boys are this way. 3 of those bad boys, okay? So I need to burn roughly 3 of those, which means if I maintain that 1,180 calorie burn per day, it's going to take me roughly 45-ish days to lose 15 pounds of fat. How cool is that? Math and science. It's like the funnest thing ever. Okay? Now, just so we're crystal clear, I 10 out of 10 do not recommend, if you're just starting out and you're somebody who has a lot of weight to lose, like I'm talking over 30 pounds of fat, to lose, I 10 out of 10 do not recommend a calorie deficit of 1,180 calories. You're hungry most of the time. Sometimes you might be, the temptation might be high because you're, again, in such a deep calorie deficit. You might experience aches and pains, these sort of things. Now, I've been doing this for a really long time. I've honed in my willpower, and temptations are just non-existent when I'm in this thing, that I'm able to do it. Not because I'm special, but because I know myself. So if you know yourself and you're like, I know if I eat a little bit of food and I get hungry, I tend to make bad decisions. Let's grow that willpower muscle to avoid temptation by not making it face a level 10 boss when you're level 1. Let's have it at like a 300 calorie deficit so that you're burning 300 calories per day instead of 1,180. And all you would do is you manipulate the numbers to what you eat to be the burn number minus 300, right? So you would be at, if you burned 2,580 calories, you would eat 2,180 calories per day. Bang. That gets you exactly where you need to be, right? Actually be slightly more than that, but whatever. You get the point, okay? So that's how you play the game. Or 2280. Okay. So now that we know the what, we got to know the how. Okay, Chris, I hear what you're saying. You got 4 things you need to do. You need to be doing fitness. You need to be eating the food. You need to be doing the thing. How the heck are you going to do it? Here's how. 1, I got to figure out my workouts. How often am I going to work out? Well, to kind of pull you back just a smidge, fitness, I need to burn 180 calories on average from fitness per day. That means that I need to burn at the end of the week 1,260 calories, because that 180 is the average that I put in to the day. So as an example, I could do 1 workout doing strength training that burns like, I don't know, calories an hour, like 7 calories per minute. Okay. I just have to work out 1 day per week for 163 minutes to burn the 1,260 calories I need to. So that on average, the other 6 days when I'm not working out, I'm still burning 180 calories. This makes sense. Okay. Because if you take 1,260 divided by 7, that gets you 180. Okay. And then if you did 2 workouts, you'd have to work out for 82-ish minutes, right? Doing strength training for that long in order to burn at the end of the week. When you take the 2 workouts, they each burn 800 something, 900 something calories, whatever it is, 800, 700 calories, whatever the number is, right? At the end of the week, they'll burn 1,260 calories with the 2 numbers together. So it'd be 630 calories per workout. There we go, math. Okay, but do I have 163 minutes to work out? No. Do I have 81 minutes twice a week to work out that I can do? Maybe. 3 workouts at 54 minutes, more doable. Hour a day, 3 days per week, very reasonable. 4 workouts per week at 40 minutes, very reasonable. 5 workouts at 32 minutes, incredibly reasonable. Okay? And so what do as an overachiever, because I love exercise, is I work out 5 days per week. I work out for about 45 minutes to an hour. So even if, again, these are all estimates. So even if I burn less, I'm still doing more time, which will enable me to burn more calories, which allows me to burn the fat and have a little bit more assurance there. Does that make sense? I know this part's a little bit confusing. So if you have questions, please comment below. Right now, I can't see any of the comments with the new software. I'm trying, so I can't see them. But I'll be able to answer them after the video is done. I promise. Or you can send me a DM. Okay, and I'll answer them for you. Okay. Now with the food, I'm eating bunches of food, like lots of food. Okay. And so when it comes to losing weight, again, for me to tell you the number, I wouldn't know because I have to know a bunch of things about you, right? But do the things Do the stuff literally what I do. Not even exaggerating. Okay. So look at my meals. Like this meal here, it's 36 grams, 136, 65, but that rice is like 200 when it's done, or 180. So it's really like 210 plus 250. It's almost like just over a pound of food in that one meal. It's a bunch of food, right? Instead of somebody having 645 calories, as an example, one serving of fries at Five Guys is that many calories. Problem. And you see too, greens the protein. You see it's 42 grams of protein, kind of high. Now my other meal is stupid high. This is what I'm even eating today. Chicken breast, rice cauliflower, guacamole, fat-free cheese. Now you might be like, oh, Chris, but fat-free means there's sugar in it. There's no carb. There's 4 carbs in the whole thing. So and it's not from sugar, right? Fat-free cheese made from skim milk. So it's just all the fats skimmed off of it. And so you have no fat in there. So it's pretty awesome. Okay. So all of that, 121 grams of protein in one meal. It's so much. It's like, dang, dude. And look at the gram, it's like 800 grams. It's like 2 pounds of food that I eat in one meal. It allows me so I feel super duper full. So when I'm in this deep deficit, temptation, I don't want to eat more. I just ate a 2 pound meal. Are you kidding me? I don't want to eat any more food. It sucks, right? So that's that. Another meals. Okay, this one is a taquitos. Look at this. I got lavash bread, fat-free cheese again because I love that stuff, and chicken breast. All of it didn't fit in the lavash bread, so I had a little bit on the side. But I roll it up, chuck a little bit of cheese in there, put it in the air fryer for a couple minutes, let it crisp up, and I dip it in some salsa. The salsa is like 20 calories, so add 20 calories to it, right? And then meal one, look at big old meal, 624. This one kind of heavier because the skirt steak. Skirt steaks has quite a bit of fat in it, so you got to account for the fat, but it tastes bomb. And I could easily add more cucumber, except I freaking hate it. I just had it there for some crunch, and I survived. So bonus points for me. Okay, so you're gonna want to eat lots of volume food, tons of food to do that. Second is that notice on the steps. Am I doing this video sitting down? Could I easily do it sitting down? Yes. But I'm already at 40,000 steps for the day. By the end of the day, I'll be at 10,000, wrangling these kids, going to dance, doing all these things. I'll be at 10,000. Easy peasy, just by being more active. So ask yourself, anything I'm doing sitting down, can I do it standing up? At school pickup, unless you're in a blizzard, right? Can I park the car in the parking lot and walk around for the 30 minutes I'm sitting here waiting in line? Could I get out of my car, park it, and walk around? Do some stuff. Could I do that? Yes or no? Answer is likely yes. Do you want to? Maybe not. But guess what? I don't want to either. But do you know what I'd rather want? A body that's awesome. And me down to that 151 pounds, feeling awesome, looking great. That's what I want. And so if you want it to, hey, join the club. It's cool. Okay? Next is having reminders. Some people talk smack about reminders. I think it's silly. Reminders are important. The reason why most people fail these things is because it's out of habit, right? You do other habits, and we need to rewrite those habits. What better way to remember to do stuff by having a reminder? On your calendar, alarm clocks, messaging through the apps, whatever it is, have that for you, okay? And so far, I'm down 6 pounds. Do you remember that 5 pounds of lean mass I was telling you about I was going to lose? Math, science, it works like every time. But it's not just me, which is really cool. There's other people too. So this person started at the end of November, or the very end of November to the end of December, they lost 12 pounds. Phenomenal. So that means you're telling me, Chris, that they lost 12 pounds from Thanksgiving to the end of the year? Yeah, pretty cool. Okay. This is JC. JC's down in 2 weeks, down 6.4 pounds. And he's like, man, I've never had any of this stuff explained to me before. He was trying to do too many things at one time, which gets overwhelming. And it's very, very challenging because it makes none of it efficient. And so we're efficiently losing fat right now. He's only in it 2 weeks, but he's going to be down to his goal weight of 200 pounds by the end of the year. It's going to be so sick. And he'll be well on his way to keeping it off. Okay. And this is Amanda. Amanda's down in 1 week, 6.2 pounds or so, right? And actually, it's less than that now. This was taken earlier today by Sarah. She checked in. It's less than that now. And she's literally saying, I can't finish all the food. I'm so stuffed, right? It's awesome when you play the game how it's meant to be played. And you know what's crazy is that you can too. You can do this too. So if you want these results like the other people and me, okay, I've got something cool for you. Because the reality is you can know this stuff, but you can know what to do. But if you don't do anything, it don't matter, right? And oftentimes when people don't know what to do, there's missing pieces of how to put it all together. And so if you're somebody who wants to get results and not have to guess and doesn't have to know what to do and how to do it, you can get a coach to be able to support you so you don't have to try to figure it out on your own, which you totally can, by the way. Follow this process. Literally what I do. But instead of you guessing and figuring it out, I can tell you exactly what's going on, how to fix it, so you can kind of sidestep away from I think this is what to do. Here's to get a result right away. So there's two people in the world. People who lack time, people lack money. Okay, and if you lack time, if you're like me, somebody who's got a really busy schedule, you don't have time to afford to go out and spend it on researching and planning and figuring out and all these things. Pay somebody to help you out. Pay somebody. It's smart to do that instead of trying to guess your way through it. Especially if you're somebody who's tried to do this New Year's resolution thing a bunch of times and hasn't been successful. The reason is you're doing old things over and over and over again, expecting a different result. It's time to do something different. And so all you got to do is DM me your results. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook you up, even though there's already been 5 people with it. For the next 3 people who DM me results, you're going to get my New Year's special that actually was running last year, but you'll get it this year, okay? That is, I will plan your meals for a month. I don't even do that for people, but I'll plan your meals for the first month so that you know exactly what to eat, how much to eat, groceries, all that stuff. Get all that planned for you. Second is I'm going to send you exercise equipment. So you don't even need to go to the gym if you don't want to. And even if you do want to, but you want to work out at home too, I'll get you some equipment from there. Next is I'll get you a starter supplement pack. In the starter supplement pack, there's no Fat Burner 3000s because I don't believe in that stuff. But there is supplements that are going to help get rid of bloat, help stabilize your hormones, make your body feel good, and kind of reset your gut. So all of those will be sent you to. And by the way, it's not like a harsh laxative, nothing like this. Okay, it's natural stuff, easy peasy on the gut. You're not going to be blowing the back of a toilet. But if you're somebody who's stuck and doesn't want to be stuck, if someone wants to get results, that is just so frustrated with not getting results, and you can't go another year of doing the same thing and staying stuck or worse, see the doctor again and him go, didn't get any better. Here's your medication. Or didn't get any better. Here's your upgraded medication to now you're insulin dependent, not independent. If that's you, send me a DM with the word results, and I'll know it's from you, and I'll get you involved in that. There's only 3 spots. I ran this last year at the end of the year. 5 spots were taken in 3 hours. So you don't want to miss this. I didn't run it on here, and I actually do more stuff on here than I do at other places. That being said, have a great day. Kick some butt, take some names. I will talk to you soon.